Finding your way into a comfortable position, just feeling the sensation of whatever you're lying on top of, feeling the pressure, and now immediately starting to ground into the sense of safety that lying here can bring in for you. And it may start as an aspiration that you want safety, but as you allow yourself to feel into that sense of safety more and more, it starts to move from aspiration to something that's really achieved and really present. As we get comfortable, we start to tune in to what's happening inside the body. Just notice anything that comes up that is not in line with safety. Anything that is challenging, induces fear, does anything to you that is a contraction, is some kind of resistance, is a form of pressure that you put on yourself, a form of avoiding the sensation. Just notice anything like that. As we notice it, we can separate from it. Noticing is the first step. You might even visualize whatever you're feeling that is a challenge, that is something other than safety. You could mentalize an image. Some people can see a black cloud, or a thunderstorm, or messy lines that occupy the skull. Just any kind of visualization that seems to you to represent your resistance, your fear, your pressure, the things that hold you back from your practice. Really just feeling into what that fear, resistance, pressure feels like, and trying to represent it with an image. And the image may occupy a part of the body, may just be a part of the body. Just getting a sense of the frustration, the feeling that when you do the practice, the dial goes up and you experience more pain or tension or whatever. Just really mentalizing that aspect of you that is resistant to the practice, wants to shirk away from it, avoid it, fears it. As you mentalize it, you might visualize yourself outside of that frustration, fear, pressure. Just sensing that it's there, but sensing that it's not all of you. Drawing a sense of identity from the whole body, the parts that are comfortable as well as the parts that are uncomfortable. Really widening the lens beyond that sense of frustration to take in all the parts that are normally not included in the story. As you start to take in the body, really reminding yourself that these sensations are normal. There's no damage here. This is not structural. We know that from our discussions. Just tuning in to the sensation without any fear. We're getting the raw data here before the mind amplifies it or does anything to it. We just want to see right here, right now, what is the data? What is the sensation? Really increasing our capacity to sit with that, to really stay in touch with it for a long period of time. until it starts to shift and move, without needing it to do any of that. Just letting ourselves know that we can do this, that there's nothing wrong, that the discomfort is normal, and really increasing our capacity to be with that discomfort. As you take in the sensation, maybe there's a part of your body, maybe it's the back or the shoulder blade, that's challenging, that's been a problem, that has story attached to it. You want to just let go of that story. Just focusing on this is normal sensation. We can be with the sensation. And we can hold it with a sense of lightness and curiosity. Really taking it in a kind of wide perspective way. Not the concentrated vision of a hawk looking for its prey as it scans the land. You can more just think of the clouds in the sky above the hawk. Really just allowing your eyes to soften and your kind of sense of vision to widen. Imagining clouds that stretch from one side of the horizon to the other. Just noting what's going on in the body with that sense of lightness, curiosity. Almost like we're finding shapes in the clouds. Doesn't need to mean anything. Just artifacts of nature. Maybe there's a fractal pattern. Maybe the cloud's doing something quite specific that catches your eye. Really just lengthening the amount of time we can sit with the raw sensation. It doesn't have to be too serious. Just holding it lightly. You can help that by putting a slight smile on the face, holding the eyes lightly, allowing all the muscles to just relax and expand slightly. You can imagine the joints lengthening as well. No tension being held anywhere. If your mind wants to narrow into any particular thoughts, just allowing those thoughts to pass by and returning to a wider awareness, wide open awareness. You can imagine the sun is setting on those clouds. Beautiful colors, oranges, golds, yellows. Just feeling in your body what that scene would do to you. Imagining the warm sun on your face. I'm going to put you in a tropical location on the beach with a cocktail in your hand. Just taking in the last warm rays of sun. Knowing that you have an exciting evening ahead. There's nowhere to rush to. This is exactly where you need to be. Just taking in any pleasure that might be in your system. Leading into any joy, any excitement, anything you're looking forward to. Really taking that in. Not worrying if it doesn't happen or if anything is not happening in this practice. The practice is showing up. Everything else is fair game. We don't need anything to happen. Just learning to keep relaxing back into open awareness, where we can take the sensations that are in our body. There's nothing to hide from, nothing to run from. We can be with these sensations. You might focus in on that visualization we had earlier of the cloud or whatever you came up with that's your fear, your pressure, your resistance, your frustration. Just seeing if that image might have shifted slightly. Maybe it's lightened slightly. We know that, it's there. It's going to be there until we're absolutely have anchored this practice. And it doesn't need to be a problem. We just acknowledge it. And we just acknowledge that it's not the whole story. And we get our sense of identity from the awareness that takes in that feeling, that image. And the awareness is calm, curious, compassionate. And it doesn't need anything to happen. We take in anything that may have shifted in the body. Just noticing what being with your body for this amount of time may have done. If you feel any gratitude towards yourself for showing up today, towards anyone for anything, just allowing that gratitude. Gratitude being a healing emotion. And just starting to feel it drifting back to the surface. Really take your time. Even after I've finished, you might want to lie down for a few more minutes. Just allowing your body to completely rest with nothing to do. Just really soaking in the state that you've got into. If any discharge is happening, if there's any tingling or any warmth or yawning or anything like that, really lengthening up the time that you're in discharge to allow the energy to properly drain from the system. Starting to come to the surface, getting ready for the next things that are on your day. Just allowing your body to slowly mobilize back into a state of readiness, but just allowing it to do so as naturally and organically as it can.